Okay, first I'm going to provide an overview of Edmodo. Edmodo is a learning management system created specifically for teachers and students. And when you type in edmodo.com in your browser, this is the homepage that shows up. So as a teacher, you will enter your email address and sign up, and it's free. And when students sign up, they will have to type in a group code, but they do not need an email, which is a good thing because not all students have an email address that they can use for school. And I will show you where to find the group code in just a second. So I've already got my login information, and I'm going to log in. Let's try that again. Okay, so the class that I've created is this physics class, and here is the group code that you will have to give your students in order to give them access to your class. So once you have all your students added to your class, you can start to make posts. The first kind of post is just a note, and you can type in any sort of information here. Students can also post notes into the group that will show up on the feed, and students can only post notes. You see that teachers have all of these different kinds of posts that they can create. So in a note, you can add a file, a link, something from your library, which we will see later, and you can also schedule the message to appear at a time later than when you are creating it. So alerts are very similar to notes. They're limited in characters, and these are going to be important reminders because the students will be able to filter their feed. You can see here at this drop-down menu, and they can see only alerts, and these are going to be the especially important posts. Assignments is the next kind of post that you can do, and to create a new assignment, you click here where it says assignment title. Okay, so you can title the assignment and describe it. You can lock the assignment so that students will not be able to submit it after the due date. Of course, you pick the class. We're already in physics class, so that's why this shows up here, but you can add other classes if you have them, if you want to assign the same assignment to multiple classes. So you can add attachments, links, attachments from your library, and also schedule the assignments. If you've created an assignment in the past and you just want to send it again, you click Load Assignment. You can click on the assignment and it will automatically fill in the rest. You still have to add a due date, which is up in this right-hand corner. You can click on a due date and hit Send, and that will show up on the feed for all of the students in the group. The next feature is Quiz. You click on this blue box that says Create a Quiz. There are multiple kinds of questions. You can do multiple choice, true or false, short answer, fill in the blank, or matching. So if you want to create new questions, you click Create a Question, you type in your question here, you type in your responses, and you can set different ones as the correct answer. So I'll just type in sample question and just type in A and B. Okay, so then to add multiple questions, you click here over on this side. Now this is going to be question 2. So question 2. Oh, I must have hit caps lock, didn't I? Okay, and the answers. Okay, then when you're finished making all of your questions, you assign the quiz. And if you have already made a quiz, you can click Load Previously Created Quiz and just select that to send. Oh, you must set a due date. So I'll just click one, and this is going to physics class. Okay, send. The final kind of post that you can make is a poll, and this is just a question that is not like a quiz question, but just something that you need feedback for. How did the lecture go today? How did you like our guest speaker? Things like that. Okay, so those are all the kinds of posts you can do. The next thing I'd like to show you, I'm going to click here on physics class to get that open again, is the folders over here on the right hand side. So folders are very important to keep things organized, and the first kind of folder that I have is a resources folder. This is just one sample document that I put in there, but you can add all sorts of documents. You can add to up here in the blue box, add to folder, so you can add files and links, and again, you can add from the library. And the other folder that I think is important is a sample work. I don't have anything in this folder yet, but this is where you would put examples of the assignments that have been done by students in previous years, so that your current students will have something to look at to compare their own work to. Okay. Over here on the right hand side is the Edmodo Planner. This is a calendar feature that shows all of the assignments and quizzes that you can do. So this is the weekly view, and you can also do the monthly view, which will show up this way. So in the weekly view, there are two kinds of things you can add. If you click on the day, so I'm going to add something to Tuesday, you can add an event or a task. If you add a task, type in quiz or something, I don't know, hit create, and then the students will have to check this off. They can check it off when they've done it. You see I've added a task here for Monday, group project meeting, and they can check off whether or not they've done it. So that is the calendar view. To exit the calendar, you click on this X up in the right hand corner. Okay, up here in the top, there's a thing that looks like a line graph, and this is the progress tab. So I'm going to go to my physics class, and these are all of the students. This is going to be like your online grade book. So I've only graded one thing. This is an example assignment that I made and I graded because I wanted to see what it would turn out, what it would look like when I finished. So you can see the grades in the progress tab. You can see badges for all of the students, and there are several different kinds of badges. You can see there's good citizen, good question, hard worker, homework helper, participant, perfect attendance, star performer, and student of the month. So this is a way that you can keep track of the students' sort of behavior for the class. Insights is a place where you can kind of see the overall feeling for the class. So for each post and assignment, there's an option to choose one of these smiley face icons for how you felt about the assignment. So I've only answered one of these for the example assignment. The student that did this assignment gave a positive feedback, so it has a 100% here. The next thing across the top is the Discover tab. The Discover tab is specific for each class. It just has different resources that teachers and students can use, so I won't go through anything specific here because that's going to be specific to each and every one of you in your classes. So finally, here's the Library tab, and this is where you can keep all of your documents for all of your classes. You will most likely have more than one class that you're teaching. Most teachers do, so you can keep all of your documents here, and then as I showed you previously, you can add to different classes from the library. So you can upload files and links to your library. Okay, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to click back on the physics class. The next feature that I'd like to show you is this small group feature, which is perfect for collaboration. So I've created a group, and the group site looks just like the class site, but you can add specific students to it. Perhaps you're doing a group project, so you put only the group members in each group so that they can collaborate and post in a place that the entire class cannot see. And finally, I'm going to go back to physics class. I'm going to click members. So here you can see I've just made a couple sample students, so I'm going to click sample student. And here's where you can see everything specific to the student. If I were another student looking at this student's page, all I would be able to see is the profile overview. The students can only see other students' badges and posts. But as a teacher, you can click progress and you can see the grade, the overall grade, and the badges for the student. And if the student had posted anything, you would be able to see their activity, what they've contributed to the class. So this is Edmodo, and next we will do a screencast about Google Plus as a learning management system.